Looking for a unique online gaming experience? Well, Golden Nugget's online live dealer games are changing the way people play online in New Jersey. Broadcast live from an exclusive studio at the Golden Nugget Atlantic City and streamed directly to you, the player, on your smartphone or your laptop, Live Dealer creates a true casino floor experience online. The dealers even have their own unique personalities, talking to you as they deal the cards. It's almost like being in the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City.
And as long as you're within the New Jersey limits, you can play from wherever you happen to be or on the go. Tablet, phone, or desktop, wherever you are, you can enjoy the Live Dealer experience. Play Golden Nugget's online Live Dealer today in real time, 7 days a week, now from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Blackjack, roulette, baccarat, all live in real time on GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
Get started today at GoldenNuggetCasino.com and take part in the newest and most unique online gaming experience a casino can offer. Golden Nugget's online live dealer, truly the next evolution of online gaming. Must be 21 years or older, New Jersey only, problem gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another weekly installment of Turnpike Sports. Dave Weishuttle with you here, along with co-host and producer Doug Weishuttle. Doug, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. This is a great time of the year. It's October. We've got the NFL in full swing. We've got the baseball playoffs heading closer and closer to the World Series, and both the NHL and NBA started up.
Every sport is playing. I love it. I love it.
It's a great time of the year, and this is actually a great time to be talking sports, too.
Absolutely. And what we got coming up this week?
Well, we've got another installment of the Turnpike Sports Police Blotter.
I love that. Athletes behaving badly.
And we've also got another injury report. More injuries to talk about.
Terrible to hear, but interesting. And I have my interview with Ari Fox with Fox Marketing. He is also the creator of the Casino eSports Conference, which was held at the Westgate Hotel and Casino this past September. We're going to talk about all things eSports, the future of eSports, what was talked about at the conference, and everything eSports.
And then we got our pick segment with Simon Chokoisky.
I love Simon Chokoisky.
Our very own vedic astrologer.
Absolutely. And, hey, you're out in the stores or on Amazon, pick up Simon's book, Gambler's Dharma, Sports Betting with Vedic Astrology.
All right, and before we get to the meat of the show, here's how you can get involved. You can call or text us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. You can follow us or talk to us on Twitter or Facebook, both at Turnpike Sports. Or you can email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com.
All right, sounds good. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. You know, ever since we started this show, people have been asking for advice. Usually it's what team to bet on this week. You got the Patriots or Steelers, Chicago, Detroit. Well, let me tell you this. Where you're betting at is just as important as who you're betting on. So that's why I tell people to go to mybookie.ag. Use promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, for up to a 100% deposit bonus. There are a lot of online sports books out there. MyBookie.ag is the only one that gets my stamp of approval, and you know I don't give that out lightly. To get my endorsement, I've got to personally use them, and that means they have to be the best. And MyBookie.ag is by far the best sports book I've used. The rep is rock solid. They do 100% cash bonuses, so off the bat you're making money for doing nothing. And they have the fastest payouts. Seriously, just 2 business days. It's no different from betting in a glitzy Las Vegas casino, but you can do it right from your smartphone. Go to mybookie.ag to place your bets and tell them I sent you by using promo code PIKE. Get over there and get the best odds anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Doug Weishuttle with your Turnpike Sports Weekly Injury Report. Well, another week in the NFL means we have more injuries to talk about. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers suffered a broken collarbone from a hit by Minnesota Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr. Rodgers underwent surgery for the injury and is expected to miss significant time. However, Packers coach Mike McCarthy has not ruled out a return this season for their star quarterback. Elsewhere, Carolina Panthers linebacker Luke Kuechly remains in the NFL concussion protocol from an injury he suffered in Carolina's game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Kuechly missed 6 games last year due to a concussion. And in the NBA, Boston Celtics' new forward Gordon Hayward's season may be over before it ever really began. Howard dislocated his ankle and broke his tibia during the Celtics' season-opening loss against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The injury was immediately apparent to everyone watching, and Hayward's first season with the Celts is apparently over. This has been Doug Weishuttle for Turnpike Sports. Come back next week, and in the meantime, let's be careful out there.
Welcome back, Turnpike Sports here. Wow, another devastating week for injuries.
Yeah, each week they seem to be getting worse and worse.
Oh, boy. I mean, first Aaron Rodgers, it looks like he may or may not be out for the rest of the year, but that devastating injury to Celtics player Gordon Hayward was awful.
I think the best way to describe it is gruesome.
Gruesome. You know, it was interesting. Last week we were in the New York area, and we saw the injury to Odell Beckham, the ankle and leg injury to Odell Beckham. This week we were in Boston at a restaurant when the game was on, and we saw the terrible leg injury to Hayward.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, you actually saw it on the TV. I had actually left the area just to avail myself of the facilities in the establishment. Basically, I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and everyone's looking at the TV with horrified looks.
It was a weird scene because the sound of the TV was down, but people noticed that something really wrong was going on in the game. The reactions in the stands mirrored the reactions to the people in the restaurant that were watching the TV.
Well, I came back. I actually thought something happened on the court, that like somebody died or something like that. Wow. And then I realized, well, the Celtic season may have died. Well,
yeah, maybe. There was a guy in the bar area of the restaurant, and apparently he had a still picture that he found on the phone. The injury happened 2 minutes ago, and he had it on his phone, and he was walking around showing people. And you had to look. I mean, it's almost like a car accident, but you had to look. And boy, I wish I didn't look, but it was just terrible for. I feel really bad for Hayward.
Well, actually, after looking at all the pictures and the video, the one thing I thought of immediately was Joe Theismann.
Oh yeah, Joe Theismann. That was just, and it did look like Theismann because the leg went in couple different directions.
Well, the only difference between Theismann and Hayward here was Theismann got hit.
Hayward came down awkwardly.
Don't they always?
And I feel really bad for the guy. The guy waited 5 years to play with his coach from college, Brad Stevens, and he gets hurt 5 minutes into the game. 5 minutes into his Celtic career. Unbelievable.
Well, that stuff happens. I was actually surprised it happened that soon. Normally the first 3-4 minutes of a basketball game, really, it's just going back and forth.
Very uneventful.
Yeah, exactly.
Very uneventful.
Just happened at the wrong time for this kid.
Well, it's changing topics. What happened?
Before we get to the this week's blotter.
Oh, an injury report bonus?
I have an addition to the list.
Injury report.
Technically, it is not an athlete. It did happen during a game. Well, no, this is technically after a game, too. Just this past weekend, Syracuse University defeated the national champion Clemson Tigers.
Amazing upset, by the way. Absolutely an amazing game. Good for Syracuse.
And what do kids do when they win a big game like this?
They storm the field.
Well, this one fan, Justin Heath, wanted to join in on all the fun and down on the field. So he ran down from his section 302.
Okay.
And he jumped out onto the field, jumped over the railing, got onto the field. Really landed hard because he shattered his ankle.
Okay.
And broke both his legs.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's terrible.
He will not be walking for 3 to 6 months.
Wow. Oh, boy.
So, kids out there, walk, don't run.
Yeah. Don't dive onto the field.
No. He got a little too excited. And
wow. Well, get better. What's his name again?
Justin Heath.
Get better, Justin. Oh, and now my favorite time of the show. It's the Turnpike Police Blotter. Yep, that's right. Athletes behaving badly.
Well, this week, the Turnpike Sports Police Blotter is brought to you by BeanGenius.com.
I love Bean Genius.
Have some of the best coffee in the country delivered right to your doorstep when you subscribe to Bean Genius. Now get 10% off your subscription when you sign up at BeanGenius.com using our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service.
Wow, what a tongue twister that is. I'm glad you read that.
Alliteration, you got to love it.
Wow.
All right, first up, we have another college story. Former UConn college soccer player Brendan Hill.
Ah, okay.
Charged with third-degree burglary and sixth-degree larceny.
Wow, okay. What'd he do?
Brendan.
What'd he allegedly do?
Brendan allegedly burglarized, and this is incredible coming from a UConn student. He burglarized Gino Auriemma's restaurant.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you something. You don't mess with Auriemma in Connecticut. He's taking his career into his own hands.
He snuck into Gino's Grill at 3:30 a.m. in the morning.
Okay. Okay.
Supposedly, allegedly, however you want to phrase it, took a bottle of liquor and left.
Okay.
Now,
boy, he was...
That's brazen.
Wow.
Also, I don't know how you're out going to a restaurant at 3:30 a.m. and just go and get a bottle of liquor, but whatever. There's liquor stores for that. Now,
not at 3 a.m. in Connecticut.
Well, you know what?
It is New England, so it's 3 a.m. in Connecticut. It's pretty much shut down.
That's true. I should be careful with saying that stuff. But this is the interesting part: how he got caught. He was caught on security cameras.
Okay.
Wearing his UConn shorts from his soccer team.
Okay.
Bearing his number.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's basically how they tracked him down.
Wow.
So, this kid's not Dean List.
Yeah, well, UConn's a great school. You think they'd have smarter people than that. First, you shouldn't be breaking into things. Secondly, you shouldn't be wearing his uniform with his number on it. Okay, well,
I don't think this kid was that smart to begin with.
Okay,
so
yeah, apparently not.
He's no longer at UConn. He's no longer on the team. So there you go.
What kind of booze did he pick up? Any word on that? Any story?
No,
anything on the story?
I would hope he'd be smart enough to at least get some good liquor.
Yeah, no, it was expensive stuff.
Next up, we go back to the NFL. Former NFL football player Santana Dotson.
I remember Santana Dotson.
Was arrested and charged with first offense operating while intoxicated.
I don't get these guys. They make a ton of money. I don't care. I'm sure they have some money left if, they're retired. And I know Santana Dotson played a long time. There's cabs. There's Uber. There's Lyft. This is ridiculous. You call one of these people, and pick them up and go home safely.
Well, he got pulled over 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And he was he was given tests and everything, and he was arrested for driving while intoxicated. But this was his first offense.
What does every coach say? Nothing good happens after midnight. Pretty much. That's a good rule of thumb, people.
Case in point,
yep.
Santana.
Yep.
Call it the Santana rule.
Yep.
And finally, we don't normally just talk about the players. We talk about the coaches.
And
we have our first coach. Western Kentucky University assistant coach Ben Hansborough was arrested for driving under the influence. This happened at a restaurant. He got into an accident in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it for you.
And the other driver, when the police arrived, told the police he smelled alcohol.
Well, yep.
So they are now investigating this internally at the school. He was charged with the driving under the influence, and we'll see what happens. He posted bail and everything.
Oh, boy. Hey, like I said, Uber, Lyft, cabs, take advantage of them, people. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Sounds good. Another great segment of Turnpike Police Blotter. Stick around. I'll be right back with my interview with Ari Fox talking all things eSports. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to beangenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE. Looking for a unique online gaming experience? Well, Golden Nugget's online live dealer games are changing the way people play online in New Jersey. Broadcast live from an exclusive studio at the Golden Nugget Atlantic City and streamed directly to you, the player, on your smartphone or your laptop, Live Dealer creates a true casino floor experience online. The dealers even have their own unique personalities, talking to you as they deal the cards. It's almost like being in the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City.
And as long as you're within the New Jersey limits, you can play from wherever you happen to be or on the go. Tablet, phone, or desktop, wherever you are, you can enjoy the Live Dealer experience. Play Golden Nugget's online Live Dealer today in real time, 7 days a week, now from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Blackjack, roulette, baccarat, all live in real time on GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
Get started today at GoldenNuggetCasino.com and take part in the newest and most unique online gaming experience a casino can offer. Golden Nugget's online live dealer, truly the next evolution of online gaming. Must be 21 years or older, New Jersey only, problem gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. You know, one of the hottest trends in gaming and casinos nowadays is eSports. Our next guest is at the forefront of the eSports craze. He is Ari Fox. Ari is an executive with Fox Marketing and one of the creators of the Casino eSports Conference that was held this past September at the Westgate Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. And we're lucky enough to have Ari on the phone with us to talk about what happened at the eSports Conference and about the future of eSports in general. Ari, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. First off, I know people in the industry know all about esports. For those outside of the industry, it's something still very new. For people who are not familiar with esports, what exactly is esports?
Well, esports is electronic sports. It's a competition between people playing an actual video game, and that could be anything from Super Mario Brothers to League of Legends to Defense of the Ancients, which is Dota 2, Call of Duty, CSGO. There's many different types of games. And if you're thinking about the concept of it, the closest thing I could say is that it's all based on skill. But it's almost like if you took poker and then digitized it to a game that was, because poker is also based on skill or more so, or some skill. But think about, how you have a poker tournament, you would have an esport tournament, and then that would grow into, having competitions in casinos and people winning big prize money and that kind of thing. People enter in, that kind of thing. So that's what esports is, and it has a lot of legs in the casino industry. And that's why we set up the Casino eSports Conference.
People have asked me, and I want to ask you, when you talk about esports, do you see it more of a team versus team or more of an individual sport? Because me personally, I'm seeing a lot of participants in esports being part of a team, especially when you see it on TV. You see all these guys with the headphones on. So do you see it more of a team versus team kind of thing or individual?
Well, again, esports is there's a lot of layers and a lot of different things, a lot of different games. So there are a lot of team-on-team type of games that are out there. Those are more like, for our vision for the casino industry, a team-on-team type of esport event would be more along the lines of something as an entertainment venue, almost like a concert. So what that would help with that in that way would help the casinos get younger people into the casino to be active in watching an event happen, kind of like a boxing match. Mm-hmm. But it's that's the event. There are a lot of one-on-one and two-on-two type of video games too in a community called the fighting community. And that means that basically it's like Street Fighter is a game in particular that you would, that you might have seen them in the arcades. It's been around a long time. And you basically challenge one person. It's like you have an image or character on the screen that represents you, and then there's a character that represents the other person, and they fight. and the idea is to beat the other person. So that's what they call as fighting community or a fighting game. And so those could be a lot more, sort of invitationals. Like if someone was going to be invited to a slot tournament, you can invite them to a fighting esport event. And there's so many different fighting types of games that are out there that certain people like for particular reasons, because some are more like superheroes, like there's one called Injustice, and depending on the characters, people are drawn to those characters, and that's how they play those characters. So team on team is something very common, but team on team is, you're dealing with publishers like Blizzard and Riot, and games like League of Legends and Dota 2 and things like that. So that can happen too. The spectrum of esports is so large that it's all possible, and there's a lot of money for casinos to make on just bringing it in the doors if they do it the proper way.
No, absolutely. Now, as you said, you recently held an esports conference at the Westgate in Las Vegas this past September, which I think is a great idea, getting people in the industry to talk about esports. Who were some of the attendees at the conference?
Well, to start with, it's the name of our conference is called the Casino Esport Conference, and I'm going to get into some of the attendees. One of our speakers was Blaine Grable. You may have heard his name. He's the creator of the skill-based slot machines.
Oh, sure.
He's
had Gameco, right?
His slot
he's Gameco,
yeah,
right?
Gameco,
yeah,
exactly. Right. Blaine is amazing. He's an awesome guy, brilliant game developer. He's been a game developer all his life, but Gameco is a great company, and they were in attendance. Then and that's what a lot of people seem to understand. Sort of, they hear Casino Esport Conference. It is about esports, but it's really about the next generation of gaming and what's happening in the casino industry. So that would include skill-based gaming. And next year we're doing something interesting. Is we're going to be introducing tabletop games.
Oh, okay.
Now these are games. Yeah, these are games that millennials play, like Magic the Gathering, Legends of Catan. These are actual games where there's some of the characters are like elves and ogres and witches and wizards and stuff like that, and they can be monetized. There's a game called Hearthstone, which is basically it's a video game, but it's also a card game. So there's crossover to actual table games that don't require electricity, that aren't digital, that they have a lot of rules and regulations, but that's a whole open book.
I was just thinking that you're opening up a casino market to people who usually don't go to casinos.
Right. But there are tournaments for these tabletop games all over the country, and to even open that chapter is a whole new introduction into what millennials are into and what they're playing right now and what they would be interested in doing if you had some type of event like that in a casino. So that's a whole new, body of water that we haven't that nobody's even touched. So that's going to be introduced at the CEC next year. But again, it's all about, CEC is, Casino Esport Conference, but it covers everything from, the people that have come, guys like Blaine, guys like Alex Engelman were there from Millennial Esports, guys like Gary Lowe that were there from eBlue, a lot of MGM executives, Josh Swishman, or Swishman, I think his name is, a couple guys from SLS, some people from Caesars. There were some major players. They don't like anyone to know that they were there, but they were there. They may have popped in for one or two of the sessions, but the concept behind what we did was we actually got the people that are working on the street level, the people that run tournaments on a weekly basis, in some game store or video game store, or they rent out like a sort of small warehouse and they have a little event there. And these are the people who are connected to bigger communities. And one of the guys actually that was at the CEC, he came up to me and he got it right away and he said, oh, yeah, I can understand. He goes, I know what tournament organizers are. Tournament organizers, or TOs as they're called in the video gaming or esport world, represent large, enormous groups of communities. And those communities, so the guy came out and he's like, oh, I get what a TO is. A TO is like a group leader or a junket leader. And yeah, that's exactly, if you wanted to equivocate the two worlds, that's exactly what they are.
That's a good way of explaining it, a junket organizer. That's basically what he is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Stick around. We'll be back with more Turnpike Sports. Did you wake up with a sore neck or a bad back? Or maybe you just had an awful night's sleep? Must be the bed, right? Well, maybe it's not your bed. Maybe it's your pillow. That's why I use MyPillow. I sleep great at night and wake up pain-free. And now there's a great deal being offered by the folks at MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Radio 4-Pack Special tab, and use promo code CARDS or call 1-800-319-7913 to take advantage of this 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows, all for one low price when you check out with our promo code CARDS. You've heard the commercials about the 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty, and its patented interlocking fill. But really, get MyPillow because you deserve a restful, deep, comfortable, and healing sleep. That's the Radio 4-Pack Special at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Better sleep starts with MyPillow. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. For those of you just joining us, we are talking with Ari Fox, an executive with Fox Marketing and the creator of the Casino eSports Conference that was held in September at the Westgate Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. When we're talking about the business side of esports, what were some of the issues that were addressed at the conference?
Well, a lot of the, as far as the business side is concerned, is, one of the topics I think in our schedule was how to make money with esports. Mm-hmm. And there's, it's funny because a lot of these questions are pretty similar to basically how the casino makes money already. But there is a twist. And a lot of the things were like, how do you make money at esports? But it can't be the same way it's been, you can't do it the same way. It can't be run the same way as casinos were running in the past. Because millennials, and we had a panel about this, about advertising and marketing. Millennials don't take to marketing and advertising the same way, people who are older than they are. I mean, that, from the baby boomers or X-gens or whatever you want to call them. Because they're so inundated with so much media constantly that advertising is not even something they even pay attention to. And there was a professor, Robert Rippey, who spoke from UNLV about the impact of esports, the marketing. Sitting right next to him was a gentleman who is the marketing director for Matcherino, which is a website. It's a crowdfunding website for esports. So it raises money from fans who want to see their players play against one another in a tournament. The community that we're talking about is so much more of a grassroots type of community. It's so much more of you need to show them a little love before they even will trust you. Mm-hmm. And that was the difference between what Robert Rippey was saying and what this guy named Mike, who is the marketing manager for Matcherino, who was around in his mid-20s, and Professor Rippey was, I don't know, he was probably in his late 40s, early 50s. And the world that the 20-something people have grown up in, and even the 30-somethings, are completely different than the world that the 40s or late 40s and 50-somethings have been used to. And it's how do you restructure your marketing for that? How do you communicate and contact and connect with those communities. And the thing is, it's not easy. Connecting with these types of communities is very difficult. Reaching out, so it takes a little bit of investigation. It also takes a little bit of understanding what those communities are looking for. For a perfect example, if you want to take something like Tom's Shoes. Tom's Shoes, everyone knows that Tom's Shoes, if you bought a pair of shoes, they donated another pair to some third world country. And because of their philanthropic approach, they became popular overnight. It discussed other things like Airbnb and Marriott. How did Airbnb get so big? And Marriott is this, Marriott Hotels is the big hotels, and now Airbnb is almost moving in on the whole hotel business. Well, the idea behind it is that it was a grassroots. It grew over a long time. And that's also how we need to approach in the casino industry the esport world and the younger generations of people. They're the different breed.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something about the esports and the sports betting aspect of it. I know in Las Vegas you're allowed to bet on esports. I guess bet on different players, bet on the outcome of a match. Now, very soon the U.S. Supreme Court will be ruling on whether sports betting will be allowed across the country. I know New Jersey is challenging the law in order to allow sports betting within their casinos and their horse race tracks. Now, if the Supreme Court allows betting in other states, do you feel this will increase the marketability of esports in casinos across the country, that people are now allowed to bet on esports as they would any sports event?
Yeah, I think that, look, if you go out to Las Vegas and you sit in the bookie area, they have bets on, I think, elections.
Yeah, they do.
We always have a discussion on regulation on esports and where it's at, and what is allowed, what's not allowed. Because some of the things that Blaine is working on with Gameco, he has to get certain approval.
Sure. Yeah.
For level 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is that he's using, because he's putting controllers and other devices that have to go through regulation to be approved just to be on the floor. So the CEC, or the Casino Esport Conference, is definitely that type of place that is where the new stuff is happening. It's just the new wave. And we're trying to put that out there as that, because everyone will say, oh, it's the Casino Esport Conference. Actually, it is discussing esports, but it's really about the entire picture of what's going to be happening in casinos in 5 years from now. We actually even have architects that are going to be speaking about new designs and how they're going to redevelop the inside of casinos that are going to be way more, millennial friendly, way more connected to the younger generations and what they're looking for. And we had a lot of architects at our event too, that interior designers and architects and stuff like that want to understand that market as well. So
that was going to be one of my questions. I was going to ask you, where do you see it in the coming years? I know the NBA just announced they're starting their own esports league called NBA 2K Esports League. I think that's what it's called. Now, do you see other professional sports following the NBA's lead, and will that influence casinos to really ramp up their esports provision for the fans?
I think there will be, because the space is so large. There's so many ways to penetrate into esports. You have the professional level of what the NBA is doing with NBA 2K. You also have maybe Major League Baseball getting FIFA involved. So there's a lot of these games that are out there that could definitely be snagged up by a major standardized sport, or what we know as of sports, and instead of professional athletes like the professional basketball athletes, you have professional esport athletes playing the games, or NBA 2K, stuff like that, because there are some guys that are just so unbelievably good at playing those games. I see that's definitely a trend of the future.
Okay. I read this and I'm thinking, oh my God, can this actually, esports and fantasy sports, actually be combined into one big, event that people can actually win money on?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's, that's that's going to happen. That's already happening. And that's other things that we're going to be covering at the CEC, which is, looking at the market, who's buying what. It's just getting too big to ignore. So the casinos understand, for example, the MGM is building an eSport lounge or eSport arena at the Luxor.
Wow.
So they're understanding it. It's being built by eSport Arena, which is a company out of San Diego or Los Angeles or something like that, and they came out to Vegas and they're building an eSport arena there. So it's happening. It's happening very rapidly. I mean, there's talk of other casinos that are going to open at some point that might be just all millennial focused. They may be all skill-based machines and esports, but that's a whole nother market segment of what's happening. So what we're looking at here is, and this is the thing that I feel that like a lot of executives get very frightened about. They get scared that they do not want to alienate their current market. Nobody's saying to do that. Nobody says that you should alienate your current market at all. Mm-hmm. What we're saying is you should add another space on your floor for the new market. Keep your old market and just add another space. Because, I mean,
no one's taking out slot machines or anything like that. You're still going to play your slots. Everything's fine.
Oh, God forbid. Never. No. Nobody wants to take it and say, you know what, we're getting rid of all your slot machines. No, that's not going to happen. I had conversations with some casino executives, actually owners of certain casinos in the United States, and they were adamantly against esports, adamantly against skill-based gaming, and the reason is because one, they may not understand it, and two, they don't see it as a viable way of earning any money because they feel that skill-based, if somebody is so skilled, then the casino is going to lose revenue. But, they're only earning 1 to 2, I think it's a 1 or 2% return on the table, right, currently with like blackjack and poker and all that, right?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Okay. So we're saying is, you're introducing another 1 to 2% where you might, actually it's probably more than that. I mean, mathematically, the algorithms are better where the casino will actually get a return higher than a poker game or a blackjack table game. So, and then there's the booking with the betting on esports too, which, goes without saying they'll just make money there. And there's a lot of other things that have to be discussed. Like where does iGaming get involved? And there were a lot of iGaming people there. Actually, Melissa Blau was one of our speakers who works for iGaming Capital, which is a consulting agency that talks to casinos about setting up online casinos through their servers, through their land-based servers. So there's a lot of, like, a whole canvas of things that is going to be painted as a new avant-garde type of development in the casino world. But it's like I said, it's not going to take away what's currently there. That's not going to happen.
All right, it sounds like the eSports conference was a huge success. Do you have a website so people can keep up to date? If there are any more conferences in the future, they can find out about them.
Yeah, it's Casino eSport, CONF.com, and we are scheduled to have our second year in Las Vegas on the 5th and 6th of September, and location is to be named.
It sounds great.
We're still negotiating with a bunch of different ones in Las Vegas, but we're definitely going to be expanding the CEC because a lot more people need to know about it. I mean, it's going to be good. We're definitely going to have a really great turnout, I think, and we're real excited about the upcoming opportunities and the development of what's happening because, it's just too big to ignore. You can't. What is it that, the casino industry has a base of people. And I have read many articles where a lot of casinos are opening here and there, and then they talk about how they're not getting any people. And the reason is they're not getting any people is because there are so many casinos at this point, and the group of people that they're selling to has been so spread out that there's no more there's no more new people. Mm-hmm. So we can't. You got one group of people. When the Pennsylvania casinos opened, they all moved from Atlantic City to Pennsylvania. Now some of them have gone back to Atlantic City, but it's all the same group.
Yep, it is.
So it needs new life. The casino industry needs new life. And again, I'm going to reiterate it again for any executive or casino executives that are listening. Nobody wants to replace your current market. That's something you got to keep. But there needs to be a door opening for the newer market if you're looking to have your casino survive for the next 20 to 30 years.
Ari Fox, executive with Fox Marketing and the creator of the Casino eSports Conference. Thanks for joining us and telling us all about the event. Oh, thanks, Dave. Remember, it's the Casino eSports Conference. If you look at it and Google it, you can find the website, or it's Casino eSports, CONF.com, September 5th and 6th, 2018. Sounds great. In Las Vegas. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Have you ever wanted something so bad that you do just about anything for it? Well, that's exactly how we feel about you. That's right. AdamandEve.com wants you so bad. We're giving you 10 free gifts with your first order. You heard me right. That's 10 free gifts to spice up your love life. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, an adventurous toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. That's 10 free gifts for you shy types who've never tried Adam and Eve before. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, a sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts, including free shipping. That's offer code BABE16. That's BABE 16 at AdamandEve.com.
We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at BeanGenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to BeanGenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE. Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. Every week our pick section, we are lucky enough to have Simon Chokoisky, who wrote a great book called Gambler's Dharma, Sports Betting with Vedic Astrology. Simon is here to give us his unique view and theories on the outcomes of this week's games. Simon, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Simon. Doug here. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Doug. Thanks.
All right. Before we get into the picks, I just want to let everybody know that all of Simon's picks are going to be up on the Turnpike Sports blog. All you have to do is go to the show's website, turnpikesportsradio.com, and click on the blog link, and they'll be up there for everyone to take a look at. We're not going to be talking about all of his picks, but he even gave us a bonus pick for the Jets-Miami Dolphins game. So you might want to check out the blog when you get a chance this weekend before the game starts, so you can get an idea of the Dolphin-Jet pick there. Now, Simon, in the production notes that you sent over, you said something very interesting about two of the games. You mentioned that the outcome of these games would depend upon the time they started. Now, why is that important?
Yeah, well, timing is everything. And, Reagan's astrologer actually had him on a stopwatch. And most people don't know this, but there was an assistant with a stopwatch, and he would point to Reagan, and then he would start his speeches, his major, Air Force One wouldn't take off unless it was the exact specific time that their astrologer set out for them. And this is in his chief of staff's book, Donald Regan, and in another book written by their personal astrologer. So timing is extremely important. And for some of these games, last week or a couple weeks ago, Cleveland versus New York, according to me, and I guess you guys don't have to believe me, but I believe this, that if that last game had started a minute earlier, Cleveland would be playing Houston now in the divisional series, in the championship series, instead of New York. So minutes make a difference. Even 30 seconds can make a difference. So yes, in a couple of these games this week, if they start when they're supposed to, most of these games start on Sunday, NFL, 1 p.m. Eastern, but we all know that they don't start until like 1:02, 1:03, right around there. So if they start at that time, the prediction should come out. But if they don't, if there's a delay, if it's like 1:08, 1:09, then it's tough. So it makes what I do a little bit tough. But I'm a gambler at heart, so got to go with it.
So the actual start time can affect the charts that you're making. Is that basically what you're saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, the start time is critical.
All right. Well, let's get to one of those games. We're going to be talking about Baltimore, the Baltimore Ravens, 3-3, traveling to the Minnesota Vikings, 4-2. Now, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so this one, again, if this starts on time between around 12:02 to 12:06 local time, which is 1:02 to 1:06 Eastern, I like the underdog Baltimore Ravens, at least to cover. I like them to cover.
Now, what was important in the charts that you noticed to make that pick?
For this one, it's a number of factors, and actually, if you don't mind, can I spend 30 seconds on last week's picks, just so we can go over it briefly? Is that okay? If I bore you?
No. Take as much time as you want. This is actually interesting. This is why we're doing the segment.
Awesome. So last week, I predicted that Houston would win both of their games, and they did, but I got the score horribly wrong on the first one. I thought it would be an over game and all that. So this week, I'm not going to go into scores for that reason. And then I picked Chicago to beat the LA Dodgers because of a critical injury. And in fact, there was an injury. I think it was Corey Seaver who was out of the game. But instead of that being a liability, it was an asset for the Dodgers. And the guy who came in, I forget his name, ended up scoring a couple of runs. And so what I missed is what I write about in my book, which is that when a planet is retrograde, it can produce the opposite effect. So the planet that indicated the injury, instead of it making it a liability for LA, it actually lifted them up. And so there I am, the dunderhead, right? I missed that. And it goes to show you that the map is accurate, but the people interpreting the map can sometimes get it wrong. And as I said last week, I often do. So no excuse there, but there you go. So this week, with Baltimore, Minnesota, there is no one specific factor that I'm looking at like in last week's games, but it's just a number of things that I think indicate the underdog is going to cover.
All right, cool. And you know what? If you could actually predict injuries, Vegas will love you. Okay? If you can actually predict the injuries before they happen, that is one skill that everyone's looking for.
I want to move on to the next game. It's Tennessee versus Cleveland. The
Yes.
0-6 Browns are home against the 3-3 Titans. How do you see this one turning out?
I like Cleveland to cover in this one. Again, if this starts between 1:02 and 1:04 Eastern, I even think Cleveland has a chance to win this, guys. I know it's probably not a popular I know it's not a popular thing, but at least I like them to cover. So let's see what happens.
Well, let me ask you something. I don't mean to jump in here, but with Cleveland, they keep changing quarterbacks. They went back to Kaiser now. From last week, they started Hogan, and Hogan took over from Kaiser from the week before. Does that really make a difference in this kind of technique that you're using, or does it matter who's quarterbacking the team?
Well, it does, but it factors into the odds. So we've got, I think currently Tennessee is at 5.5-point favorite, and that's factoring the fact that Kaiser is the quarterback. So for me, all I care about is who is the favorite, who's the underdog. I don't look at the individual charts of the quarterbacks. Now, some astrologers do. Like, they'll look at Brady's chart and they'll say, hey, he's going to have a good game or he's going to have a bad game. And as the quarterback, so the team, usually. But I use a different technique. I just look at the team.
Right, you go from team to team, not person to person, as some of these other guys do. That's the entire theory that you have in your books, and it's really interesting.
It's just too much work for me, and I'm inherently lazy.
Well, you know what? That's why we have you doing the picks and not us, because we're that way too. All right, let's do the final game of the segment. We have the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks traveling to the 1-5 New York Giants. What about this game?
Yeah. I think the Giants are a good team, and one of my friends here is a diehard Giants fan. And every week he claims they're going to win, but I like Seattle in this game. I think they're going to win and likely cover the spread. Let me see what the spread is currently. Of course, this is going to change by Sunday. We're taping a couple days before then. It's 7. Actually, it's 5 points. It's a 5-point spread right now. But I like Seattle. I like the favorite to win this. I just don't think the Giants are going to get off to a good start.
I got to ask you a question. How much does location figure into your charts? I mean, if this was in Seattle as opposed to New York, does that throw
100%?
100%, really?
100%. Yeah, because what we do is identifying the factors of space and time. And so, for example, you guys know that some players like who is it? Justin, the hitter for the Dodgers. He was on another team in Detroit before, and he was not a great player. Justin Turner moves to LA, and all of a sudden his talent explodes. Space is a huge factor, and some players are very well supported in a particular city, in a particular place, and unsupported in another place. So if there are any baseball managers or football managers listening, having one of us as a counselor to help you make those decisions can sometimes save you millions of dollars.
I gotta tell you, they ought to,
knowing how
professional teams should put you guys on salary. My God, I never even thought about that.
Well, I'm willing to work for free, so I'm one of those guys with the sign. We'll do charts for free.
All right, you know what?
Yeah, I'm willing to help out. But yeah, I think Seattle's going to take this one.
Beautiful. That's a great way to end the segment. And I just want to remind everybody, all your picks are going to be up on the Turnpike Sports Radio blog. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog link, and also we have a link to Simon's book up on the website itself. So people, check that out. It's a great book and great technique to learn.
And remember to pick up the book Gambler's Dharma, Sports Betting with Vedic Astrology by Simon Chokoisky. And check out his website at spirittype.com.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem, Simon. Have a good one.
All right, you take care. Bye-bye.
And that about do it for us. Take care. Have a great week. See you on the Turnpike.